Hey YouTubers, Muskrat Jim here, and today I want to talk about the modifications I made to this hammock to make it easier and quicker to set up and take down. So stay tuned. Okay, so the thing that takes the longest in setting up a Hennessy hammock is getting the straps and the ropes tied and wrapped around the way they want you to do it. A much quicker way is using hammock straps and carabiners, but the Hennessy hammock doesn't connect to a carabiner very well, so I made a modification there too. So the first thing I did is I got a set of hammock straps and carabiners from Amazon.com. So let me set those up. Now these hammock straps have little loops every few inches to make adjusting your hammock easier. And they're really quite long. These are about 8 feet long, I think. So we'll get these wrapped around the tree and get started. Now, if you're familiar with Hennessy hammocks at all, you know that they come equipped with these long cords attached to the end of their hammock. Well, what I did is I cut 6 feet off, well, approximately 6 feet off of the cord, which left about 1 foot or so of cord, and then I tied a modified double bowline, and I'll show you what I mean by modified. So this is the end result. Here's the end of the hammock. There's the cord that's normally attached. There's a modified double bowline that I'm going to show you in a minute. And then of course there's the carabiner. And so the carabiner attaches directly to those hammock straps that I tied to the tree over there. Okay, I'm going to show you how I tied the double bowline. So first of all, I took the cord, bend it in half to form a bight. This is the bight. And then I proceeded to tie a double bowline. So make a loop like that. Take the bight, bring it up through that hole that you've made there, over this side, behind these two, fold that over and bring that down through that hole again. So now what we have here are 3 loops that you'll connect the carabiner to. So the carabiner actually passes through 3 of those loops. Just like that. And then I just pulled that tight to take up any of the slack. Now the reason why I chose the double bowline and modified it this way is so that I would get 3 thicknesses of the cord to support my weight. Now I'm less than 200 pounds, so that would be under, 90 kilos? I'm less than 90 kilos, and I'm sure that those 3 strands will support my weight. I'm not sure what the weight capacity, oh wait a second, it says right here. The weight limit is 250 pounds. And that would be, what, 110 kilos? Now if I weighed closer to 250 pounds, I would have chosen a knot that had more support than just these 3 loops. I might have chosen a heavier duty hammock as well. Now this particular Hennessy hammock is an Asym zip. And what that means, it's asymmetrical in shape. So the head end, where your shoulders are, is wider than the foot end. And also there's a zip on the left shoulder. So when I go to hang this up between a couple of trees, it's important for me to know which end is the head end right away, without having to put it on the ground, figure it out, and then put it up in the air. So when I pack this in here, I put the foot end first, but also I've wrapped some orange paracord around the head end. So that would be the end that I would take out first out of the bag. In order to get the proper hang on your hammock, your strap should be at 30 degrees. And the quickest way to determine 30 degrees is to put your hand something like this, shape of a gun, and your thumb and your index finger should both touch the strap if your index finger is horizontal. And this is pretty close. Just stake these out. And you're all set. Now I originally had drip lines to divert rainwater from running down the straps onto the line and into the hammock. But as you can see, using these proper hammock straps, they automatically create their own natural drip line. So any water that would land on this strap would flow this way under your tarp, and then they would be conducted to the ground this way. So none of the rainwater would go further into the hammock. Okay, so in the original Hennessy setup, you'd have a single cord that would run from the hammock all the way up near the tree. And along that route, there was a little clip with a prusik knot that would allow you to clip the Rainfly and adjust the Rainfly up and down, left or right, whatever. So since I cut the Hennessy cord to this length, I had to take those little clips and put them on a separate ridgeline to support the Rainfly. So I'm going to set that up now. Okay, so here's that prusik with the clip for the Rainfly. Slides back and forth like that, and then it's snug pulling that way. So I've got one here and one at the other end. So I'm just going to put up the Rainfly now. Now I've made some modifications to the Rainfly as well. Well, not so much to the fly, but to the way that it ties to the guy lines. Once I get it over the hammock, I'll show you what I did. Now Hennessy supplies a 6-foot guy line in each corner of its fly, and it's stored in a little pocket here. What they usually do is they usually have it tied directly to this ring. But what I've done is I've passed the string through the ring and tied it to this soda pop tab, to one end of the soda pop tab. And then I passed the other end of the string through the soda pop tab like this, and then at the other end I've just tied a fixed loop. Let me show you how that's going to work. Just sliding the soda pop tab down towards the middle of the cord so we don't have to stretch it out too far. And I'll run a stake through this fixed loop. So now I can loosen or tighten these guy lines with one hand by just lifting or pulling on that pop tab. Loosening it and tightening it. It's that simple. If I'm not using tent pegs, I can also use a branch. I can just tie a slippery half hitch. And again, I can tighten and loosen by pulling on the pop tab. To show you a better view of that slippery half hitch, just wrap the cord around a couple of times like that. Put that over that one. Bring it up through. And just tighten that half hitch. Now you could secure that again by putting in another half hitch. And there you go. Now, the slippery part comes into play when you take out this extra half hitch and you just pull down on this loop. And then the cord will just pull away. Now because you've got this exposed line running this way over to your Rainfly, in wet weather it's a good idea to just tie a piece of cordage here to act as a drip line to divert any water away from your hammock. Just make sure that's good and tight. And now any rainwater that runs along this line will actually drip down here. Any rainwater that falls here is pretty much negligible, so you really don't have to worry about that. But anyway, you can just cinch this right up to where the prusik is, and you're good to go. Now that the fly is on, you can see that it's nice and airy under here. The fly, being supported on its own ridgeline, is actually higher than the hammock and allows for better ventilation. Because the Rainfly is supported by its own ridgeline, you now have the added benefit of being able to use the Rainfly without the hammock. So those are my modifications to my Hennessy Hammock to make my camping experience a little more enjoyable. So till next time, this is Muskrat Jim, signing out. For more muskrat survival videos, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember to click the bell to receive notifications of newly uploaded videos on this channel.